Hey Mitski, what are you watching? I'm watching this YouTuber with a really weird name. You should totally subscribe, Aya. I'll go do that right away, yay! You all should subscribe too. Finally! Can you see me? You need to help me. Whoever runs this channel, he's crazy. He's not who he says he is. Please, you need to help me.
We're sorry.
Sorry about that, guys. My video is like messing up. That's weird. What? Someone said something about me? And this video? Still surprised that he's able to talk after all that. Anyways, in my recent poll, I asked you guys which the guy she was interested in character you wanted me to cover first, and surprisingly, Ya Osawa won by a fair margin. I just thought that people might want to see Koga Mitski or someone first, but we got Aya, no complaints, Aya's cool. So today we're going to be discussing and examining Ya Osawa's character throughout the series. Ya Osawa is the first character that we're introduced to in this series, and Aya on the surface is your typical high school gyaru who seems to fit right into the popular girl stereotype. However, something that differentiates Aya is that Aya really loves music. Aya holds music dear to her. Music is something that she loves. However, it's also something that she can't share with others. This gets further explored in Chapter 4, where we see why exactly this interest can't be shared. Aya's taste in music is diverse. A lot more diverse than the average high school girl, or even boy, I'd say. She likes bands like Foo Fighters, Nirvana, Radiohead, bands that appeal to a more acquired taste. So when she does go to joyfully share her interest in music with her friends, she is often left feeling disappointed, feeling like the odd one out as her friends dismiss her interests without any second thoughts. This is the reason why Aya oftentimes craves that connection that she finds in quote-unquote Oni-chan, who is Koga Mitski, if you guys haven't seen the series. That sort of connection where she, along with someone else, can share their unfiltered thoughts comfortably without having to worry about criticisms from the people around them. A common theme resurrects very often with Aya that is all too noticeable throughout the series. Aya is lonely. Rather than lonely, I guess a better word would be unaccepted. Having to hide what she's interested in front of her friends, having to deal with the criticisms of her friends, it builds up and leaves an impact on Aya. Another important thing to note regarding Aya is that this is not just a high school issue. While we haven't seen much, if anything, about Aya's past experiences, a lot of Aya's dialogue implies that this has happened all throughout her life. She's essentially been the elephant in the room, the odd one out, the one who is unable to follow the pack. However, this loneliness is quelled when she visits Joe's record shop. She's surrounded by people who love the same things as her, people who she can talk to about what she likes without having to downplay anything. Music has been what saves her. When she's feeling down, lonely, or exhausted, she finds solace in music. It's her thing. It's pretty much an outlet for her. However, in Chapter 18, we see for the first time where Aya's music betrays her. After Koga Mitski exits the room while accidentally leaving her music playing, Aya realized that Mitski had been listening to the playlist that she'd created for Oni-chan. Her crush had been lying about who they truly were, and it's more than safe to say that Aya's spark for music temporarily went out. We don't see Aya mention anything music related again until Chapter 26. In Chapter 26, Aya acknowledges the unfairness of music, and finds that exact same musical spark once again. However, this time, that spark had been reborn with Koga Mitski's name indented all over it. Mitski revives Aya's passion by putting on a performance in front of the school, resulting in Aya and Koga Mitski becoming actual friends, which is the turning point for Aya in this series. Aya now has someone who she can talk to about music, share what she's interested in, and feel that loneliness that's been present for so long. And even beyond that, she has someone who's willing to protect what she loves and not immediately dismiss it. And all is good for a while. Aya finds peace just having Mitski around. However, after learning more about Joe and Kana's past relationship, that loneliness begins resurfacing as Aya feels like one day Mitski might just up and leave her behind, beginning the trend of Aya's on and off loneliness despite having Mitski around. Following this, in chapter 59, Aya realizes that her and Mitski are inherently different. So in an attempt to be more like Mitski and do what she wants rather than just conforming to the people around her, she chooses to share her love of music with everyone, despite her previous notion of music being something that can only be enjoyed alone. And in doing this, Aya finds extreme happiness. Koga Mitski influences a lot of Aya's later character development, and ultimately for the better. Mitski snatches Aya out of her loneliness and shows her that there are people who are accepting of her. And more importantly, shows Aya that it is okay to like what you like. Be interested in what you're interested in. It is generally just okay to be yourself, which is something that Aya had not been doing for a while. Aya, in a nutshell, is a very realistic character, which is why I believe she won the poll. She's a girl who has something that she likes, yet is forced to hide it and be shamed by the people around her, resulting in extreme loneliness and isolation, despite being surrounded by all sorts of people. And it isn't until she meets someone similar to herself that she really gets the opportunity to change. It isn't until she meets someone who shows her that it's okay to like what you like, someone who's willing to defend her, someone who's willing to accept her without the addition of unnecessary criticism, the complete antithesis of her friends. Aya's connection with music feels really genuine. The artwork when Aya is singing or listening to music with Mitski, you can really see the emotion being captured by both characters. Music is something that makes up who both of these characters are, and I personally really love how this series sticks with that. The idea of music in this series is very prevalent. It's never tossed aside or abandoned, and we even see at times how it is reformed. So I was actually planning on ending the video here. Everything that I'm saying from this point onward, this isn't even in the script, but I just felt like overlooking this would be such a missed opportunity. I want to briefly discuss Kana and Aya's relationship. Kana is aware of how Aya feels about Mitski. She knows that Aya really likes Mitski, and similar to herself, Aya entrusts a lot of herself to Mitski. A lot of her happiness revolves around Mitski. So when Mitski isn't around, Aya oftentimes finds herself sad or just isn't able to fully enjoy herself, which Kana always leads her astray from. Entrusting all of your happiness to one person is not a healthy thing to do. Kana is one of the direct reasons why Aya starts being able to genuinely just enjoy herself, regardless of if Mitski isn't there or not. I've implied that a lot in this video, but Aya doesn't really change until Mitski enters the picture. When Mitski does enter the picture, it becomes a lot less of Aya discovering these things about herself on her own, but rather using Mitski as a means of bettering herself, finding happiness. Aya entrusts a lot to Mitski, and Kana notices that, and she's like, look, you can't be doing that, Aya. I just thought that this was a very important thing to add because, for one, I'm going to 100% get cooked in those comments if I overlook this. I already know it. And two, I just don't want to because this is also a very important thing too. Kana is the reason why the confession in the recent chapters even ever happened. If Aya didn't go to that prom, then that confession would not have happened. So it's very much worth mentioning. And with that said, that's going to conclude this video. I'm sorry if this video maybe wasn't the best quality. I'm kind of getting that feeling now that we're towards the end that I may have went off course at some point. These explaining character videos, this isn't new to me. I've done this before on this channel, but with different series. I just kind of feel like when it comes to the guy she was interested in, I'm going to need a little bit more practice explaining these characters. I've only ever explained characters for one series, so just give me some time. If this wasn't the best explanation video, I apologize. I will get better as time goes on. Regardless, thank you so much if you made it this far. Leave a like on this video if you love Aya. Leave a subscription if you love this series. And I'll see you all later.